بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله الأمين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله عليه وسلم. Welcome back grade 6. It's an honor to be with you, my fully grown ups. I'm really proud of you, okay, everyone. So today I'm going to try to revise with you what we have studied during this week with our new short story, the one which I love because it's talking about a beautiful era in the United States, okay? And we have to talk about this. It's talking about the era where people were facing, let's say, as we have explained, especially black people, they were facing like racism, and thanks God now they are living with full rights and everything is good in their districts and their cities. But back in 1920s and everything, of course the story is not in the 1920s, but it's talking about a person who lived during the 1920s, of course Mother Fletcher, and she's talking she's talking about herself in a prideful way, okay? She's so proud, okay? And I think she's a good person. We're going to discover together, okay? But the story really it takes place as if it's taken place now, and the woman is just like a book of history, okay, for people in her district, okay, telling them about life back in the 20s. And in a way we feel that she is like if someone doesn't until now, of course, if someone doesn't like respond to her needs, she's going to say, for example, as if we are not sure, as if, what am I, because is it because I am a black woman? So in a way we're going to deal with this in our story, okay? So let's start. Full, yes. So of course we have explained pages 58 to pages 61. We have read the pages together, and today what I'm going to do is to answer the critical questions with you, because the most important thing is to make your mind work and to read behind the lines when you are reading a story. It's not just to read the story itself, it's about reading behind the lines, okay? Literature is about reading behind the lines. There are some secret messages sent by Mother Fletcher or by the writer, the author, to us. We have to find those ideas, those secret messages, through the critical and practical questions. So you have to read critically, okay? You have to criticize everything in the story. So let's carry on. Let's revise the literary elements, the author, the illustrator. The most important thing to teacher Malik, as usual, is the genre. It's a realistic fiction. You're going to have this in the exam. I swear to God you're going to have it. So a realistic fiction is an imaginary story. It's not a real story, but it's too similar to real life, okay? It's too similar to real life. I'm going to talk, for example, if I was the author of this story, I'm going to write about real people, real events, even a real place, okay? He's going to use a real place in this story, the 145th Street. It's a real place in the States, okay? It exists, but the people and the events, they didn't happen, okay? They only happened in the author's mind, and they have written them to criticize something or to talk about something, okay? So realistic fiction, a story about imaginary people and events that could happen in real life, but they didn't happen in real life. And let me talk about something here. In realistic fiction, we do not, even though it's an imaginary story, we do not have flying dragons, we do not have Harry Potter, we do not have like tigers like with fire coming out of their mouths, or elves. No, we don't have this. It's too similar to real life, okay? So let's carry on. Here we have the glossary, and we have explained each word that's going to be like hard for you, okay? So you can stop my video and read each and every word. If you have a problem with a word, I'm going to explain it to you. Text me on WhatsApp or Classera, and it's better to use Classera. But here I have to talk about number 2, okay, number 5, and number 9 and number 11. Okay, the others we have explained all the words, but if you have something which is not clear, talk to me please. Preach, deliver, and preach, deliver, not only deliver. Here when he says deliver, it means deliver a message, okay? And we are talking about the preacher in the church, who is just like the imam in the mosque, okay? And here when we said Mother Fletcher was talking about the preacher, okay, back in the 20s, okay, the preacher was the one, it was a famous preacher, I forgot his name, we're going to go through it. So it was a famous preacher during the 20s. I think it was a black preacher, okay, who was like delivering messages, good messages, positive messages, okay, to people in the church, okay, to tell them, for example, be good to people, be good to animals, give food to needy ones, do not hurt people, even with the words. You see, that's the person whom we call a preacher. And the preacher is going to hide in the church, is going to hide inside the box, and people are going to come to him and they're going to confess, what we call confessing to preacher. They're going to say, look, preacher, this week I have done this and this and this, and I wish God will forgive me. And the preacher is going to say, yes, God forgives you, but do not do it again. It's their beliefs, okay? And we respect their beliefs, okay? That's the preacher, okay? The second one is spotless, okay? And when we say spotless, we have talked about Mother Fletcher's home, which is spotless. It means it's too clean. You're not going to find the spot even, okay? Even in the kitchen, which is usually, kitchens are always clean in our homes, we Arab Muslim people. But with them, kitchens, they are usually not so clean. But with this black woman, with this black old woman, it's too clean, it's spotless. And we add less, okay, the suffix less, we add it to say that it doesn't exist, okay, the thing doesn't exist. Spot plus less is going to say clean and bright. If I'm going to say spotful, okay, it's totally the opposite. It's going to mean that this place is full of spots and it's not clean, I'm so sorry. Pale. When you have the face pale, it means that your face is almost like white, okay, or let's say yellow. Cannot see the color of blood, okay, and that's when you are too old or too sick, okay. The last one, 11, which is too important for teacher, and I'm going to ask a question by the end of this video. It's ebony, very dark brown. And you remember the patrolman, the policeman, he said, I have never seen such an ebony woman in my life, as dark as her. She was so black, okay? She was so black, without racism, of course. The other words, please revise them. If you have any problem with any word, just text me on WhatsApp or Classera, okay? I think we're going to need 2 videos for this one because I already have spent like 8 minutes, and I'm going maybe to move on to another video to finish this, okay? The last one I want you to pay attention to is the word dime. It's spoken English, it's spoken American English. When I say, for example, in the United States, if you're working and you're going to say, hey, that one is for how much? For example, a small Statue of Liberty, okay, in Manhattan. They're going to say it's for 1 dime. No one is going to say it's for $1, especially if you're dealing with black people, with no racism, of course. They have their own language and they have their own way to express themselves, okay? They're not going to say, hey, it's for $1. You're going to find that people are using the word dollar, okay? But the word dime it's the one used, especially with kids, okay? Hey, mama, give me a dime. It's not give me $1, okay? But people still use the word dollar. See you on the next video because this one is almost finished, okay? Thank you so much. We're going to carry on.